Hi people, how are you? I hope we are all fine and we are having a good time in our gardens now that the season is on. Isaac again, and today we are on our community demonstration garden. Okay, like I mentioned to you, we have community demonstration gardens where we showcase the best or modern practices that one has to carry out. You know, how the seeds perform, how to spray, and we're demonstrating all these things to farmers. If you have been following us on Facebook, you probably know what I'm talking about. Allow me to introduce Ronald. Please come on set. So Ronald is our senior agronomist as well, okay, and he handles our demonstration gardens, right? He's the guy responsible for setting out demonstration gardens. So today we are on one of the demonstration gardens. So on this garden we have tomatoes and cabbages. So we're going to look at tomatoes first and then we shall do the cabbages. So quickly, Ronald, say hello to our viewers and then we'll get started.
Hello everyone. We thank you for your support, everyone. This is one of our demo gardens, as he has said. We have quite a number of them, just like this one, as you'll be seeing many of them in the coming videos. Thank you.
All right. So we don't have a lot of time, so let's get started. Yep. Sorry about that. All right, so we are here. Talking tomatoes, what are the things that I need to know? Now, tomatoes are, of course, a very hot subject, very interesting one when it comes to agribusiness, okay? It's very important to select the right variety, plant at the right time, and do the proper or the right agronomic practices as you are supposed to do. So quickly, where do we start from? Like any other business, it is important to time the market, time the pests, and time the diseases. Make sure that you can avoid the pests, you can avoid the diseases, but yet you can also time the market. So when is the best time for me to plant my tomato gardens? If I am to plant tomatoes, the best time, normally I tell people, plan to plant your tomatoes when the prices are actually very bad. Interesting, huh? Yeah, so you wait for when the prices are very bad, because when the prices are bad, many people are actually discouraged from doing the production, and then because they are discouraged, it will create a certain kind of scarcity, you know, and that scarcity will then result into the demand for the product. Okay, so when the prices are very bad, then when else? If you have the resources and you can afford to irrigate, plan to plant your tomatoes during the dry season, because during the dry season many people are opting out and they will just keep waiting. You know, agriculture of our land, especially in Africa here, rain fed, everybody's waiting for the rains. So if you have the resources and you can actually irrigate your garden, plant during the dry season. If you do that, it would then mean that during the time when there is scarcity, you will have what to offer on the market. Done with the timing, I go to number 2, seed selection. When I am selecting my seed, what do I have to have in mind? Okay, if I am selecting my seed, it's very important that we look at number 1, yield. Select a variety that you know is high yielding, because if it is a high yielding, then you will quickly make money out of it. Then number 2, it matters the fruit attributes, like the color of the what? The color of the fruit. Most farmers want it very red, like you can see this one. This one is a damaged one, but it's not the best example though. But fast moving tomatoes should be very red. Right now our garden is just starting to ripen, so it's not giving me the best picture of what red should look like. So the color really matters, it's the point. So if you get a variety that can become red very well, nice. Number 2, the size of the fruits. Everybody wants to buy big fruits, okay? And I'm happy that with this our simple garden here, you can tell that we actually have big fruits. The bigger the fruit, the higher the chances that you can fill the crates very fast. Because we sell normally in crates, okay? If the tomatoes are big, then you will quickly and easily fill the crate, and it means you'll have very many crates, and because you have very many crates, they are easily going to translate into money. So the size matters. Besides the size, what else? Depending on what you're going to use your tomatoes for, sometimes we pay attention to the taste of the tomatoes, how much water is in there, and so on and so forth. Understood? Where do I start from? I have the right seed. Perfect. If you have the right seed, you can mean to do a nursery bed, where you simply identify a place that is easily accessed, a place that you can easily access. It shouldn't be on the lower side of the valley. No, it shouldn't be on next to the forest. No, somewhere where you are very sure that you will be able to reach out in case you wake up. Like every time you wake up in the morning, quickly check on your what? Check on your demo garden. I mean, can you imagine I said demo garden? Sorry. You can check on your nursery. Check on your nursery first thing in the morning and be sure that it is in a good condition. Some of the mistakes that our farmers do is to get to set the nursery bed very far next to the forest, and then they go there after a week or 3 weeks when everything is a mess. So set it somewhere close. Prepare your nursery bed very well. Lighten up the soil. Raise up your nursery, your bed from the ground, and remember 2 things: include an insecticide, and then also when you are mulching, remember to mulch with dry grass. When I talk about dry grass, it is important that you look for grass that will allow for water to go through when you are watering. If you use anything like banana leaves that may not allow the water to go through, then you are destined for failure. So avoid anything that will not allow water to go through. So we have planted, we have put our seed in the nursery bed. What else do we have to worry about now with our tomatoes? Preparing for transplanting. As soon as you set your nursery bed, always prepare the main garden almost in the same time. Dig up the holes. Put manure. If you're going to put manure, allow them to rest as you are waiting for the seeds to get ready from the nursery, and do your transplanting right on time. When you're transplanting, always ensure that you first water your nursery, soak it. Okay, if you did not do potting, or even if you did potting, make sure that you prepare the plant by watering it before you move it to the main to the main garden. So water it very, very well before you transplant it. Even if you are going to, even if you have you didn't pot, remember to water. Okay, in the garden, the spacing for tomatoes, normally we consider a spacing of 2.5 feet. Okay, 2 feet. Ebigere. In my language, you call them ebigere. I don't know what you call them in your language, but 2 feet, right? 2.5 feet. Okay. If you do that, the 2 feet is square, okay, to the left and to the right. I mean, in the lines and in the what? In the columns and in the rows. 2 feet, very, very important thing. Then after the spacing, when you plant, what do I have to watch out for? Tomatoes are easily beaten by common diseases. There's blights. The blights will burn all these leaves in 1 second, and they will appear like they're what? Somebody set a fire on them, or somebody would think it is even witchcraft. So, to avoid the blights, you are going to plan to have fungicides that can prevent them from doing what? From attacking them. You can always contact me for certain examples of those fungicides that we can use. But then the other thing, plan to manage the pests very well. Pests can become very, very destructive, and they can mess up your garden if you do not handle them very, very well. Some of the most notorious pests that we normally have in our gardens is Tuta absoluta. I know there are other pests, but for this video I'm going to focus on Tuta absoluta, because Tuta absoluta is a very notorious pest. It will attack your garden and it will mess it up. In only 1 week it has cleared the entire plantation. So how do we avoid, or how do we even deal with Tuta absoluta? Select resistant varieties when you are planting, but then also plan for some. The good news is it has a certain insecticide that can deal with it, but emamectin benzoate actually does a very good job when it comes to tutabs. Ruta, manage pests, we are done. A few disorders that you can't miss, especially with high yielding varieties of tomatoes. There is what is called blossom end rot. Let me look around. I saw there was actually one fruit that had showed the sign of blossom end rot, so I can show you. So blossom end rot is actually a sign of deficiency of calcium. Yeah, I have actually seen it. So this is this is how the condition will manifest. So this is blossom end rot. It can easily be corrected by simply supplying calcium. Calcium can be in form of, it can be FOLIAR, or you can get one that can be applied at the base. You don't have to pluck off damaged or whatever fruits that have showed the sign. It normally self-heals. It self-heals. Like for example, you see this one, it had also showed the same condition, but it is now self-healing. All right. I would like to kind of like bring this to a close, but before I bring it to a close, I hope you have really learned something. If you have any questions about growing tomatoes, you can always send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll have my contacts running by the screen, and then or you can check in the description. In case I don't because I'm just going to upload this anyway, but you can check in the description, and you'll have my contacts in there. So what have I not talked about tomatoes that you need to know? I have mentioned the disorders, you have mentioned the diseases. Okay, just one more thing before we wind up with the video. There is a stubborn disease. The disease is called wilt. It can be bacterial wilt, it can be fusarium wilt. I can't talk about tomatoes and not talk about those two diseases. They can cause 100% loss if you do not manage your garden if you do not choose a resistant variety. So to avoid those diseases that I just mentioned, it is always important that you plant resistant varieties. Otherwise, for any other questions, I have my number in the description. You can always send me a hello and we can discuss to details. But from me, Isaac Mugera, and my team at Agro & More, we are happy that today we are having our class from our demo. Thanks to Mr. Ronald, who has been the champion in doing all this. But yeah, we are also happy to be serving our country. Otherwise, we remain at Agro & More. You can always contact us.